Hello friends, in the first part of the video, which was titled What is Siddhanta, we saw what is not Siddhanta, and today I'll try to cover what Siddhanta is. So what is Siddhanta? We can find some very good books which describe Siddhanta. Description of something is not the actual thing itself. It can be anything. Especially Siddhanta cannot be described. If it can be described, it is just a description and it is not the real Siddhanta. There is a reason why I say that. People would have, let's say, studied Siddhanta for years, 10 years, 20 years, and then they write a lot of books. Does that mean that they are more closer towards Siddhanta? No. So everyone is talking rubbish and I'm talking the good thing. Is that the case? No. I'm also talking rubbish. What I'm trying to say is, whatever which we learn, whatever is stored in the mind and retrieved outside is not Siddhanta. That's it. This applies to everything and anything. So what is Siddhanta? See, if you want to study about a pen, you take a pen, you observe the characteristics. It is black in color, it is 10 centimeters long. We can observe it. If you want to have a closer look, you keep it under the microscope, you study it carefully, you try to understand the composition. Fine. Siddhanta is not a subject which can be studied like that, because it is not the pen, it is not the microscope, it is the person who is looking through the microscope. That's the reason why Siddhanta cannot be studied. We can explain what Siddhanta could be, what they talk in Siddhanta. That is a different subject, and I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the core of Siddhanta. For example, if I write a sentence in a piece of paper, Rama went to the forest. If I present this paper to someone and I ask them, what is this? The paper manufacturer would say, something is written on a piece of paper. True. If I give this paper to the ink manufacturing guy, he will say, someone has written with the ink. That is true. If I give this paper to the teacher who teaches the language, he would say, yeah, someone has written in the English language. It's also true. But Siddhanta is not about studying some aspects or one or the other aspects of something. Siddhanta is about the person who is reading this sentence. It is about the person, it's not about the paper, it is not about the ink, it is not about the language. They are all talking the truth. But Siddhanta is none of those. It is about the person who is reading this. Anything which you see in front of your eyes is not Siddhanta. I repeat, anything which we can see through the human eyes, which is anything which is outside the human eye, has got nothing to do with Siddhanta. It could be a great guru. It could be even God. If he comes next to you and stands in front of you and say, right, I'm God. And if you are watching it outside your human eyes, it is not Siddhanta. Why? Siddhanta is something which is inside your eyes. See, I'll have to explain this. If I look at something, if I look at the pen, I am here, my eyes are here, and then the pen is here. Three things. The real me who is looking, my eyes, and then the pen. Siddhanta is not about the pen. Siddhanta is not about the eyes. Siddhanta is someone who is looking. Who is looking? The answer to this question is Siddhanta. Who is looking? We just said anything which is stored in the mind is not Siddhanta. So that means within the human body we have identified two parts. One is me and my mind. Am I owning the mind, or is the mind owning me? I repeat, am I owning the mind, or is my mind owning me? For those who do meditations or those who practice meditations, they know that they can control their mind and make it quiet. That means they own the mind. It's simple logic. They have a mind. Not only they, you have a mind. I have a mind. Whatever we put inside this mind is not Siddhanta. It is experience, it is learning, it is worldly things which are collected through the senses and stored inside the mind. This is not Siddhanta, and this is not required. That's why I'm saying if someone has spent 20 years learning about Siddhanta, it's not Siddhanta, because this is not needed, not required at all for real Siddhanta, because the mind itself is not required. So, within the human body there are two parts, mind and me. Mind is not required. So, how many persons are there in the body? One. Simple, yeah? The fact is, there are two persons in the body. It's not one. This is Siddhanta. It might sound strange and crazy to say that there are two persons in one human body. This is the fact. before I explain why I say this as a fact, I'll try to explain why I am saying this. The logic is the awareness which we have about the whole of existence around us exists. And we, when I say we, if I have to be singular, I would say I. The feeling of I, which everyone has. I have, you have. When I say I refer to the feeling which I have ever since my childhood. This is me. Yeah? It is a thing which is inside you. I am Ramesh. I. Yeah? That thing is within us. It is within everyone for that matter. That thing is in front of the awareness. The I is supported by awareness in the background, but the I does not know this awareness. So, in a sense, we all think that I am doing this, I am doing that. The support which we receive from the awareness in the background is not known to this I. If we try to question who is this I, what happens is this I disappears. This is one way. I'm not saying that it is easy to get rid of this I. It's very, very difficult. What I'm saying is, when this I goes away, we will be still looking through the eyes without this concept of I. What will be the difference? We will still have a body. When this I goes away, we will still have the body, we will still have the awareness, everything will exist in front of us, but something would have changed. What is that which has changed? The concept of individual, independent objects would have disappeared. The things which currently appear as independent objects or independent beings, Rama, Sita, Krishna, they all would have been dissolved into one, which is me, the real I. This is the essence of Siddhanta. I don't know if this was too complex, but this is the essence of Siddhanta. Within the body, there are two persons. One we know, at least we think that is the only one which is existing. That is wrong. This I, which you and me have, is living on something else, supported by a universal thing, which we call as God. God is not outside. You can go to thousands of kilometers as pilgrimages, you will not find God. You will find idols, you will find statues. You will have peace of mind, but not God. Yeah? So, in one sense, how do we prove this? I mean, whatever I am saying, this could be nonsense. Then it becomes a waste of your time. There should be a way to prove this. The best way to prove this, when I say prove, I'm not telling this concept. I mean, explaining this using the way which I know, like awareness, this maybe you will not find it in other texts, but this logic that there are two persons in your body, maybe still you will not be able to find it. But one way of confirming this is go to your religious text, regardless of what it is, Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, whatever it is. Go to the religious text, read it. Read it with this concept. Then you will find the meaning of Jesus Christ will be with you always. He is there with you always. Yeah? When the Siddhas say, Shiva came and he ruled over me, it is this thing. They all talk about the same thing. The core of any religious activity is to be one with God. This oneness, this merging is what I refer to when this thing, when the I disappears, this disappears into the bigger consciousness, which is God. This is Siddhanta. It's not an easy thing. There are a lot of things to practice and so on, but that's a different story. Here all I'm trying to say is, what is Siddhanta? It is a journey which one should take inwardly, not outwardly. A journey which one goes inwards within oneself to find God. That is Siddhanta. In English or in Christianity, Jesus beautifully said, the kingdom of God is within you. Full stop. He was preaching only one thing, kingdom of God, nothing else. Where is the kingdom of God? Within you. The same thing is uttered by many saints. Buddha, Lao, Rumi, Confucius, Christian saints in Europe, wherever you go, all they have said is nothing else but the thing which I am referring to, Siddhanta, is the one which has been mentioned by them too. There is no difference between that. Anyone who says that they will show you God here, there, you give me money, I have long hair, I have matted hair, I put sacred ash, you have to do this ritual, that ritual, it's all waste of time. It's all literally waste of time. They will not get you anywhere. No. If there is a consistency between a Shaiva saint in South India and someone in Europe thousands of years back, whatever they say is true, and if they are consistent, there should be a truth in it. And what I am referring to is the experiences of these Siddhas about this concept, I going away and the universal consciousness taking over, is consistent throughout the experiences of the saints, which I refer to as Siddhanta. In the next videos, I'll talk more about some practical steps of starting into the line of Siddhanta. Thank you.